Dr. Rachana Kulkarni, thank you so much for joining us on ITV Goals. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Aditi. It's always a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Of course, we have you today to talk to us about Akshay Patra. You do sit on its national board of directors, and there's so much happening in the nation that we really wanted to get some conversation going on about the nonprofit world yet again. So, just starting off this interview, for people that may not be familiar with Akshay Patra, could you give us a brief insight into the amazing foundation and all the work it's doing?
Oh, sure. Um, Akshay Patra is world's largest NGO that supplies midday meals to school children in India. And the motto is no child should be deprived of education because of hunger.
Right.
So it's a private and government partnership where Akshay Patra provides school meals to certain identified government schools. And we want to make sure that it's nutritious, it's done according to the geography, meaning kids or the schools that we serve in North India will have a roti-based midday meal, where and the schools that we serve in the southern part will have more a rice-based meal, because we know it's not meals are not cookie cutters, right? We are so much used to what our families eat, so we want to be mindful of that.
Right.
That's why we do it, and it has shown so much results. The literacy rate, the school retention rate, and graduation rates for kids, and especially girls, in Akshay Patra sponsored schools have gone up consistently for many years now.
Wow, that's so beautiful. How many children are being helped, Dr. Kulkarni, from Akshay Patra right now, and how many areas in India?
Okay, Akshay Patra recently, and I'm going to bear with me when I look. I want to make sure I get the numbers right.
Right.
1.8 million children are served every day.
Wow.
And it's in 19,000 plus schools, in 54 kitchens, in 12 states in India.
Wow, that's absolutely beautiful. And this is all across India, and these programs are happening to enable education with food to get those, underserved community children to really come back and get educated and really have a way to progress in their life. Dr. Kulkarni, what are the ongoing COVID-19 relief efforts? Because I know right now Akshay Patra has diverted all of its effort into helping the vulnerable communities of India. So I would love to get a good insight into what is happening in India right now.
Thank you so much. COVID has been a real big issue for India. So once again, I'm going to make sure I have the numbers right. The pandemic has left 12 crores in India jobless by May end. Huge numbers, because you know how hard Indian government and Indian communities have worked to get Indian people out of poverty.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, all those efforts may go away with COVID, because experts say that at least 10 crores Indians will be pushed below poverty line because of COVID. And it breaks my heart. And the aftermath of this crisis will last for at least next couple years. So what is Akshay Patra doing for that? Schools are closed now. There are so many workers who lost their jobs, who lost their homes. So migrant workers were particularly hit hard by COVID, and so are the kids. Now, with schools being shut down, the risk of acute hunger, and these young kids and what I call them as the future of India, not returning to school and getting pushed back in poverty, is so much at risk. So what are we doing? So we are increasing the access to food and education remotely. How are we doing that? We are doing that with something that is called Happiness Box. Happiness Box, because the schools are closed now, Happiness box is a box that is given to every child, and there is a very systematic process there. When Akshay Patra, and this is, by the way, this is just being done just by Akshay Patra without any government help.
Oh, wow.
Purely done by donations. So every kid who is registered in those schools, the parents will have to show up at the school, of course, practicing strict social distancing, hand hygiene guidelines. And I may have some pictures to show you that they are doing amazing work. So the volunteers of Akshay Patra will verify whether or not the kid is already enrolled there. And then per month, each child would get a happiness box. That happiness box, I will tell you exactly what's in it. So we will have, because we want to hit all three components that Akshay Patra serves, is nutrition, education, and hygiene.
Right.
So for hygiene, we get toothpaste, toothbrush for every child, soap, and for a female child, we give sanitary napkins. Education, these kids will get a classmate notebook, pencil cases, color pencils, crayon, and activity workbook, because you don't want the kids not to learn.
Yeah.
And we want to keep them engaged. So, and in addition, they're going to get like dal, rice, jaggery, pickles, so dry food that their family can cook for them. And we also, just to make sure there is no contamination, we give the box, we tell the parents to open the box after 24 hours to make sure that there is no other contamination or anything. Each box will cost $8 US and 50 cents per child per month. That's the cost of delivering happiness to a child. And my humble request to all our listeners is, think about this. $20 can feed or can support 2 children every month. So think about that while they're out of school.
Yeah.
Make sure that they are engaged in education. Let's make sure they're fed and they're not pushed back in poverty again.
Dr. Kulkarni, a two-part question here for you about the children especially. How much food is still needed? I know you are taking care of a certain amount of time right now, but how much food is truly needed at this time? And also, education is such a huge part of Akshay Patra. How will you bring these kids back on track when things do open up?
How much food? Aditi, there is no limit to that, right? We are currently serving 1.8 million kids.
Right.
We want to serve as many as we can. Our goal would be to serve 20 million by year 2030. That's our goal. As soon as the schools open, we want to make sure that the kids come back to school, because that midday meal, and it's unlimited. So please keep that in mind. This is for all our listeners, that the meals at Akshay Patra are unlimited. So a lot of times we have seen when the kids, that's the only meal that child is getting, their parents sometimes send dabbas with them to get them filled for the evening meal. That is a huge attraction, because what Akshay Patra is doing is it's taking that difficult choice out of parents' hands, that should I send my kid to toil in the farms or do labor or what have you, to put so that that child can eat, or should I send the child to school? Akshay Patra gives the child the food they need so they can stay in school. And I hope that the kids are back in school as soon as the schools reopen. And that's why we want to keep the kids engaged, and we are giving them pencils and workbooks and notebooks in the happiness box, not just food, because food is a medium to get education.
What is the condition in India right now, Dr. Kulkarni? If I was to ask you, what are all of the beneficiaries telling you guys?
beneficiaries are extremely grateful. Migrant workers are extremely grateful because at the beginning of COVID, as you know, migrant workers were going back to their villages.
Right.
I'm very proud to say Akshay Patra served 100 million meals to
Wow.
migrant workers completely through volunteer effort. We even, like the migrant workers, when they were going back on the trains, we served on those trains. We talk about, we give money from here. The volunteers there on the ground, the work they did is absolutely amazing work they're doing.
Yeah, that's amazing. You know, if I was to ask you in India, what is the greatest need of the hour for Akshay Patra and all that are being helped by them, what would you say? And do you have enough volunteers right now in India?
Fortunately, the Akshay Patra volunteers are very dedicated, and the organization is humbled by the support it's getting from volunteers and grassroots donations. Because what I'm afraid of, that the corporate donations in India, just because the economy has gone down, I'm afraid that they will go down. So we are really hoping for a robust grassroots donation here as well as back home. So the happiness box costs 550 rupees per child per month. So please consider that. And here, $8.5 for happiness box. Our motto is $20 can feed a child for an entire school year. Things have changed now, and for this year, we are asking you to donate as much as you can to support children, support people in need, because we are blessed here. We are so blessed to have a house, a life, a livelihood, and we should try to help our fellow citizens and our countrymen as much as we can. Whatever we can. I believe in Mother Teresa saying that if you cannot help all, help one person. So please consider that.
Yes, for sure. You know, I have to ask you, let's talk about Akshay Patra USA a little bit here, since we hit on Akshay Patra India already. What do you need the most right now as an organization here?
We need everyone's support. We need empathy and financial support. We are having our annual gala here for our tri-state area on November 21st. Shankar Mahadevan is going to give a full concert. So please, there are no tickets to attend. All we are asking is you join, you know the cause, you please get to know the work we are doing and support in any which way you can. We are not asking you for any tickets to attend, but it's a live concert by Shankar Mahadevan. He will take a farmaish, and our Counsel General, Mr. Jaiswal, has graciously agreed to speak on the occasion as well. So please stay tuned. Please visit Akshay Patra's website and see, we keep it updated all the time, see the amazing work that is being done. And please consider donating at least $20 to the cause.
Dr. Kulkarni, Akshay Patra, in the beginning of COVID-19 here, took a step to have virtual galas and began them from day one. Could you tell me what was the inspiration and motivation behind it?
Akshay Patra, we knew when COVID started that this is going to be here and to stay. So let's adapt to see what we can do without putting people's life at jeopardy. We wanted to make sure it's a safe operation. So we adapted to virtual galas. And I'm so proud, Aditi, to tell you that we have had so far several virtual galas in Florida, in Texas, in Bay Area, now next weekend in Chicago. And every gala we have record attendance, and we have collected more money in donations than we usually do in live galas.
Wow.
But my appeal to all our listeners is the Tri-State Gala is coming up on November 21st. So please attend and support the cause.
You know, you are the chair for Tri-State Akshay Patra. I would just like to know what your focus is going to be for the next couple of months with COVID-19 here and in India, besides the upcoming concert featuring Shankar Mahadevan.
Sure. Actually, if I would like to say that with each gala, we have a theme. And the theme for our gala is New York, New Jersey was hit significantly by COVID-19. So our gala theme is to thank and express our gratitude for all our frontline workers. And I'm not saying just doctors or people in healthcare. No, it also involves the people in groceries, people, postal workers, all essential workers, everyone who said, okay, I need to be there. And they were there, all essential workers who showed up during the pandemic so we can continue with our life. This is our way of expressing our gratitude. And that's why the name of the gala is Gratitude Gala. And we want to support it as much as we can.
For sure. You know, I wish you the very best with all the programs you're doing with Akshay Patra. And we hope to just keep on raising awareness about the 1.8 million children that are being helped in India right now as we speak. I would love for you to end this by giving a message out to your donors and supporters.
Sure. Aditi, first and foremost, I want to thank you and also want to thank Dr. Parikh, who has been such a huge support since the inception of this chapter and all along for Akshay Patra. I cannot thank him enough for his generosity and his support. And your entire team has just been phenomenal. Akshay Patra is an organization that supports kids' education by providing them midday meals. And with this intervention, we hope to break the cycle of poverty that they are stuck in. Because when a kid does better, entire family does better. So please support this noble cause and please join us on our gala on November 21st. Please visit our website.
Yes, to visit the website of Akshay Patra Foundation for everyone. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Kulkarni. Always a pleasure.
Thank you very much, Aditi.